Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of GeekStorm. I am Sean Hilton, owner of Comics Cube, founder of the Kokomo Con, which is taking place this Saturday, October 14th.
Yeah.
Coming right up, very excited, all kinds of news about that. Check out our Facebook page for more information. Today I am joined by the ever so lovely Lauren Gray, who I'm always happy to have with me, much more so than Michael Allen Harrison, who is never quite as lovely, nor is quite as knowledgeable, because we know that he always has to be corrected. And then we have to refilm all of his scenes, and it's always a pain. But luckily, we've got producers behind the screens that take care of that. Any wonderful, cool, geeky stuff that you've been up to this week?
This week, I've been trying to psych myself up to watch It.
Okay.
I have a fear of clowns.
Fear of clowns, so that would be a biggie for this particular Stephen King bit.
Yes. I think,
Okay.
well, American Horror Story this
Yes.
year centers around a clown cult.
My wife has watched an episode or two.
I had written it off originally. I was like, you know what, not going to do this season. Clowns, don't want to do it. So then I was like, you know what, maybe it's time that I kind of get over this fear. So I tried watching the first episode, and what I ended up doing was like 15 minutes of American Horror Story, 15 minutes of Project Runway, 15 minutes of American Horror Story, 15 minutes Project Runway.
That's odd, because
break up the
you're afraid of clowns, and yet
Yes.
I think that the other show is filled with nothing but clowns. So
I enjoy it.
Do you?
This season, yeah, it's kind of filled with clowns.
I've got to admit, I only know that show from walking through while my wife might be watching it, and me stopping, because I'm like that. I'm easily transfixed. Why are they making clothing out of 6-ring tablets from a Coke thing or something like that? Yeah. What's going on here? So I'll stop for a second, and then once finally it passes and I've been able to will myself away from that particular hypnotic trance, then I get the hell out of that room. But crazy stuff.
No, it's a fun show.
How was your interpretation of, well, not your interpretation, what was your opinion of the first episode of this year's American Horror Story? Only one episode for you so far? Is 2 out?
Episode 2 aired on Tuesday.
Okay.
I haven't watched it yet. But the first episode was okay for me. The whole clown thing still is just...
It's too much?
A little. I just think, I don't know, I watch shows like that. I watch shows in general to kind of get away from all of the real world news and stuff like that. And they just threw all of the politics from this past year.
Oh, really?
Just crammed it into that first episode. Yeah, you have crazy caricatures of, Trump supporters and Hillary supporters that are just to the extreme, both extreme left and extreme right, and that was kind of annoying. It was gory, like I said. There's a small child in it who has...
As a clown or a normal person?
No, he's a normal person.
So far.
But his nanny is doing things like showing him like actual death scenes and like kind of messing with his head, and I don't like that either. That
How old
kind of
would you
made
say
me...
this kid is?
He's like around 10, 9 or 10. Maybe not even that old, but...
Now, I heard a name. I'm under the impression like another character from another American Horror show.
From season 4, yeah. Twisty the Clown.
Is in this now.
Yes.
So is this a flashback, or is it maybe...
Well, he has his own comic in the current season. Like, someone made a comic about the real-life murders he did back in the 50s.
Oh, okay.
So the little kid is reading the comic, and you actually see the scene play out as he's reading.
And do we know if it's the same actor who's portraying
Yes,
Twisty?
it is the same guy, and he still looks really
creepy?
really messed up.
Cool. I mean, I don't watch it, but I think that sounds really cool. So.
Yeah, and it was, and I think he's going to have an overall storyline in this because of the clown cult of people that are terrorizing the city.
How is this clown inoculation preparing you for it? What are we thinking?
I don't know right now.
Ready?
Maybe I might just go and rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
We'll see.
Now, it did incredibly well.
But
it
yes.
Number 1 at the box office.
Beat Deadpool.
It set the all-time domestic rated R record. So the film that has made the most money, not counting, inflated dollars and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But did incredibly well. And I had the misfortune to engage the internet this morning.
Yeah.
Now, typically, I try to avoid engaging social media on these sorts of things. I use social media all the time, very active, but on this sort of thing, yeah. So a guy whose name I don't know, I'm not trying to be coy or anything like that. I don't know who. He wrote an article recently for his blog or his podcast or whatever, his social media, whatever, and it was something titled to the extent of like 11 reasons that the new It movie is garbage. Something like, again, I paraphrase. If you want to know what it is, Google clickbait 11 reasons hate movie, blah, blah, blah. I did not read that article.
Yeah.
Don't care. I read Stephen King's It whenever it first came out. I was probably in grade school. I liked it. It was fine. I went through that Stephen King phase. I'm sure I watched the original miniseries, but it doesn't have any effect on my life. It's not like, oh man, I think Pennywise is the greatest character, the greatest horror character, the greatest clown character. None of that. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have nothing against it. I have nothing for it, but I didn't bother to read this article. Today there was a post. He wrote a second article saying that, and I did read the second article because I just happened to be floating around this morning looking for, different information. And so basically after posting this, he got a lot of heat, a lot of threats, a lot of name calling, people saying he was wrong, and all this sort of thing. And I read it, and his second thing, and he goes through and he tries to validate his opinion, which it's the internet. Trying to validate your opinion is like trying to catch drops of rain, snow, and sand in your hands at the same time while they're going through a hurricane. It's just not worth the while to do it. But he tried, and it was interesting for the most part. I didn't have any problems with it. It's a typical opinion puff piece kind of a thing, no biggie. But then he got to a point where he thought one of the reasons that this did incredibly well, didn't say it was a good movie, just said this was the reason he felt it did well, was because of the Stephen King nostalgia factor. And because people have this idea of Stephen King stories, the nostalgia behind it, and their thoughts, that is why it did so incredibly well. And I thought about it, and I then engaged. And this is where the mistake happened. I'm like, well, I can't really take anything that you just said seriously because of this whole nostalgia theory that you have. Because Stephen King's Dark Tower, a much more, in my opinion, beloved series, a long-running series of books that affected a lot of people's lives, came out, and it dudded at the box office. Dudded, that's a word, D-U-D-D-E-D, dudded. It flopped so hard that I think that...
Which makes me sad, too, because I love Idris Elba.
Yeah, I do, too. I've watched him read the phone, but I have not seen this movie yet, but I also don't like The Dark Tower. I'm one of the few people on the planet that read the first book and said, that's not for me. To which almost all Stephen King Dark Tower fans go, yeah, the first book wasn't very good, you need to read the others. The first one wasn't good. That's like, oh my God, this is awful. Here, Lauren, have some. No, I'm not showing up for that. So I just simply said that, that your whole thing loses all of its weight when you say this nostalgia thing when something I think deserves much more nostalgia. Then he came back and replied, well, you have a flawed argument because just because a movie made a bunch of money doesn't mean it's a good movie. And I'm like, what did you just read? I just pointed out your logic didn't work for me. And so it was just odd because it was like you just flipped the narrative. You tried to change what my whole thing was about. And then all the way, it's not clickbait. To which I had to explain to him, I understand that you don't believe it's clickbait. In your heart of hearts, this clickbait isn't clickbait. That's fine. You can believe it all day long. You can also believe in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and Twisty the Clown, but none of that makes it any different than what it is. See, the reality is you can believe with all your heart that the world is flat. Well, that just means you're a dumb idiot. And if you don't believe that this is clickbait, that is absolutely fine. That's your opinion. You're the author. But I'm telling you that once you put it out there in the world, it no longer belongs to you. You put it out into social media. You put it out into the internet. You have lost control. Now, you may have the legal rights to charge if your article is made into a movie someday, but how we construe it, that's like telling me that Deckard is a replicant or he's not a replicant. Ridley can say it all day long all he wants. Harrison Ford can say he wants, and the producers can say it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to choose who in Blade Runner is and isn't a replicant in my mind's eye. So I'm just like, I don't think you know how the internet works. So that was my very long, overblown thing. But again, that's what happens when you engage the internet.
There's so many other factors that can make, like it had a fantastic marketing campaign. You had people tying balloons on grates in random cities.
That image of Skarsgård, regardless of whether you're a fan or not, him as Pennywise the Clown in it has such a visual appeal to it that if you don't like clowns, you still want to see that image because it just looks. It's like watching that horrible scene. You're like, I want to see, but I got to look at it. He's visually striking. That story looked interesting. I haven't seen
the trailer was fantastic.
I'm probably going to go see the film, even though my interest level is really low, and not because it did well, just because it does look interesting. So when you go, let me know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And besides, what else is out right now?
That's the other big thing is what exactly was it fighting?
Waiting on Thor.
And what's it been fighting for a month? I mean, really, it's been an oasis of nothingness, you know? There hasn't been somebody poisoned the well.
Someone wanted me to go see some movie. It sounded really terrible. I don't even remember what it was about. It's like some teacher movie or maybe romantic comedy. Falling in love. I don't know.
Those are what those are often about.
I saw the trailer and I was like, no.
I'm out. I almost last night went and saw American Assassin. I was on the edge.
I didn't even know that was.
I was on the edge. It's an action adventure flick. It looked interesting. And then as I was doing it, I was just looking up to see the trailer again to go, okay, let me make sure. Well, then I saw some of the headlines coming up from reviews, and it almost made me want to go see it even more. They were trashing this movie so badly. I want to say it's the New York Post, is like, a bro's wet dream is what the article was actually called. It's like, it's dudism taken to an all doodly level
amazing.
Or something. Nothing but mindless explosions, violence, exotic locales, hot women, and exotic cars. He goes, nothing else matters. He goes, the dialogue is so horrible that it almost helps. It's so bad to hear them say these convoluted BS lines that it's almost worth it because it goes so hand in hand with it. So it sounds to me like this might just have to be like a Sunday afternoon
$5 movie.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause I love a bad action movie.
Speaking of critics trashing things.
Oh, I love when critics trash
The Orville
things.
premiered last week.
Yes, the new Star Trek kind of parody from Seth MacFarlane.
Well, yes, I think that's what people went in expecting, but like I went in expecting no expectations.
Sure.
Because it's Seth MacFarlane, and you really.
I was gonna say I would expect just comedy.
And it was like I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I liked all of the spaceships. Like the CGI was really good for what it did. But like all of the critics are like, this is supposed to be Star Trek, and it sucks, and this is horrible. But most of the general public's opinion is like, no, it was actually kind of funny. One woman was like, I can't believe it's such vulgar humor. And I'm like, well, it's Seth MacFarlane.
I'm like, this is the thing. Like, you bought M&Ms. Did you not expect chocolate-covered candy? You know, it's like, what did you think?
The woman that sat next to me when we went to see the Book of Mormon. Like,
great.
it says from the creators of South Park.
I love it.
What were you expecting?
Yeah, I don't understand. I get why the comparison is coming from, but it's parody.
Yes.
At least I haven't seen it yet. I'm under the impression it was parody. It's meant to be parody.
Kind of, yeah. It does have some elements of parody in it, but it is kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
He's a giant nerd. Seth MacFarlane is just in real life, and this is kind of like his love story, all the sci-fi stuff that he had growing up, or he was exposed to growing up, and I enjoyed it. I'll continue watching it.
So 30-minute situation comedy?
It was an hour.
Hour? Now, is it supposed to always be an hour, or is it just the
I
episode?
don't know. I'll see.
Do we know laugh track? No laugh track?
No laugh track.
No laugh track?
No.
All right.
I think it would have cheapened it if they did
Level
have
of
laugh
comedy
track.
versus level of drama? I mean, is it flat out, is this a comedy?
It is more comedic. There are some dramatic elements in it. It's more kind of like how Stargate was. Stargate had a lot of comedy in it, but there was also kind of that overarching storyline where...
Just with an hour long, you don't see too many I can't think of a single hour-long comedy that's, comedy. So, all right.
It may have been like a special, this is the premiere, so we're doing
We'll keep up on that one.
Yeah.
Did you watch any Netflix lately?
Netflix, no.
I just finished Atypical, and I just finished Defenders. Did you see any? Have you heard about any of that?
No, I meant to start Defenders, but I have to wait for my husband on that because Netflix cheating is a thing.
Yes, it is. I don't know.
So
we need to come up with a term, though, because I don't like just Netflix cheating. Let's not do that. It should be like nexting, something. I don't know, something
Nexting.
better. So I did finish Defenders. So because you haven't watched it, I will say this.
I don't care.
Woo! What a dull snorefest.
The Defenders was a snorefest?
God. My wife fell asleep during
Well, you're making me want to watch it.
I won't lie. I did not binge watch it because I couldn't. I watched, I think, 2 episodes at a time was as much as I watched. It just was so dull.
Do you think the kind of lackluster response to Iron Fist maybe
Nope.
dulled? Okay.
Nope. The fact that it's 8 episodes that should have been 3 or 4.
Oh,
The
wow.
fact that there's just no comedy. There's no levity. It is constantly drama fest, with very little action. And when there is action, it's usually quick clips, fast action to the point where it's hard to see visually. They only have one guy in an actual costume. So there's only Daredevil that looks pretty silly. And we all want to see the costumes. But
Yeah.
they've gotten away from all that. That's fine.
Well, if you have Daredevil in a costume with 3 other regularly clothed people.
And he's only in costume once or twice in this entire 8 episodes. So, they've done an amazing job doing great drama. And I don't want to take away from that. The fact is that we are getting Netflix to do a superhero drama.
Yes.
But now they've given me 4 different characters in a drama. They've given me now the team up as a drama. And again, no levity, nothing fun about any of these.
And
it
I
is
know-
always doom and gloom the entire time.
I don't get why people don't jump on that. They see obviously how well Deadpool has done. Like, you can do comedy and
Sure.
rated R.
I mean,
and,
I don't even want him to do like a slapstick comedy, but I
Yeah.
want there to be some comedic elements between Power Man
Break
and
it
Iron
up.
Fist.
Break it
I
up.
want them to, yes, I don't want to constantly feel like you were slapping me in the face continuously for 44 to 57
Mm-hmm.
minutes, and that's what it felt like. It was just nonstop abuse. I'm like, oh, get over it already. So I've really enjoyed most of the stuff they've done, but I am to the point now where, and the next one I believe is Punisher, so I'm not expecting a laugh track there either. But at least with him, at least with that character for sure,
Yeah.
I know why I'm getting it. Jessica Jones, I get it.
That's
Daredevil is all about the whole inner demons and whatnot, but then again, every once in a while, he can do stuff that nobody else can do. Can you not show me a scene of him abusing his powers to go get a cup of coffee? I mean, something just once in a while where he's like, you know what, today's my cheat day, and boom, 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 boom. I
maybe
got a
he
few
has
donuts.
too strong of a moral compass to.
Between his inner demons and Jessica Jones' drinking problem and Finn Jones being Iron Fist just can't do martial arts. The only guy that has any chance of being interesting at all so far has been Luke Cage. So yeah,
And I really
Man, I was
enjoyed
so
his
up on these when they first
series.
started, but I'm definitely starting to sour. If they don't do something different soon,
I want to see something Netflix do some more stuff, kind of like Glow, like just
Oh,
off the
man.
wall, out of nowhere.
enjoyed the
And-
hell out of Glow.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Is it Mark McCone?
The director guy.
The guy who's the star of it, really.
Yeah.
He was great. I didn't know his material. I guess he is really well known, but absolutely loved it. Atypical, though, is one you do need to watch.
Okay,
It
yeah.
is 8 episodes. It's a Netflix version of a 30-minute kind of dramedy, bouncing between 30 and like 40 minutes an episode about high school senior-aged character named Sam who has high-level autism. They go through lots of terminology and living life. So it's dramedy, it's family life of what it takes and what happens in their lives, how he's living his life. Got a younger sister, mom and dad. And there is some drama in it, but it's also mixed with a lot of comedy. So
Nice.
not slapstick comedy, but again, it's a dramedy. But I enjoyed that so much more than I enjoyed Defenders. It was just, it's a lot of fun. And then the last episode, again, it's 8 episodes, has a great little ending to it that definitely leaves up for a second series, and then can go through some more dramatic changes and stuff as you continue to follow the life of this family. But I think it's kind of eye-opening in some ways if you haven't dealt in your life with anybody that has some kind of problem like this. Yes, it's comedy, and yes, I'm sure it's not everybody's situation,
Yeah.
but it does at least give you some insight. I think there's some scenes that I think really kind of get a point what it's really like.
That's awesome.
So they take it seriously, they explain things, but then there's also levity involved in it in a way that I think most people are going to enjoy. So that's my Netflix catch up right there. Man, all right, so super geeky. The pictures finally came out. There's some stuff going on with Hellboy.
Yeah.
And the first pictures of the star, guy from Stranger Things, plays a cop. The cop from Stranger Things has come out full costume. Red makeup, arm,
Everything.
horns, duster, the whole thing. Holy freaking cow!
He looks
Holy
fantastic.
Good gravy. If Mike was here, I would curse a whole lot just to make him feel bad. It is so freaking amazing.
He wouldn't feel bad because he doesn't like Hellboy, so
He
you wouldn't be able to.
and that just makes him a fool. He's a fool. Fool, I say. It looked so damn good. Now, I will say that Ron Perlman probably could have looked this good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just there's been updates and effects and makeup.
I think he
and
did
all
a
that.
fantastic job as
Big fan
Hill
of his
version.
work.
Oh, yeah.
And I was bummed that he wasn't coming back and Del Toro wasn't doing it. But I will say this. At least the change of the look of that character didn't come at a loss to any of the visual. It looked amazing. Looked so good. You need to do the whole picture thing. Sorry, man. I hate to do that. I don't like to pull a mic on you. But somewhere here or here, over here, wherever. It looked really, really good. Not only that, but they recast the part of Ben Domio, the whole big thing we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Whitewashing.
The whitewashing thing. They had contacted the guy who played the bad guy in Deadpool to come and play this character, and the character happened to be of Asiatic descent, and people lost their minds. And
he stepped down.
He stepped down. The producers, were like, "All right, we're gonna," and they recast it. They recast it almost immediately. And then the part went to, is it Dan Kim, guy from Lost in Hawaii 5-0, and it stepped up, and he took the part, which I think he's fine.
Yeah,
I think maybe
he's a good actor.
He is he the go-to Asian guy right now though? They say whitewashing, they say this, they say that. It's to diversify. But are we really diversifying when it's just called Kim? And I like him, but this guy is getting a lot of work, I would imagine, because of some of these statements. And I don't think his agent went out there and started putting this out there. I don't think he invented it. But I think that somebody has benefited maybe from it. It definitely benefited him in this role. Yeah, a little interesting. And then, and there's been a little bit, and this is so, just bringing it up so we're fully out there. He is, I want to say, of Korean descent, but the character is supposed to be of Japanese descent. And now, whoa. Do we have to do a DNA test to make sure that this character is being played by, or can we just go with, he stereotypically looks Asian, I guess he counts?
That controversy's been kind of around forever, though. In Selena, when the movie Selena came out and Jennifer Lopez was cast, everybody lost their mind.
Why?
Because of Jennifer Lopez's background and Selena's background. I don't remember which they were, but she...
You're talking about Jenny from the block?
Yes.
I don't know what block she's from.
So it's nothing new. People have been up in arms around. Yeah. So,
interesting. But again, picture looked amazing. Now, I was lukewarm. I was down on it. I was like, I don't have a problem with the guy. I just don't like the fact that Del Toro's not doing it. It's just kind of his thing. The only other thing that I've got an issue with, and fanboys keep saying this, and I don't use fanboys in the derogatory, like, oh, you're a fanboy. I'm a fanboy. We're all fanboys. That's why we do it. But fanboys are out there going, man, I finally get that rated R Hellboy movie I've been waiting for. Now, I won't lie. I have not read the most recent couple years of Hellboy. But I was a huge fan of Hellboy when it first came out, and I followed his first several series, met Mike Mignola 2 or 3 times, got stuff signed, got Hellboy stuff signed, big Hellboy fan. I know a little bit about Hellboy. There wasn't a single story I've ever read up until the point where I quit reading that determined that those needed to be a rated R.
Yeah.
PG-13 was going to handle your traditional Hellboy story without a problem. Is there violence? Absolutely. Is there blood? Absolutely. Is there, heads being blown off, guts and stuff? Yes. It's Hellboy killing monsters. When Hellboy blows the hell out of some kind of crazy monster, I don't know how that becomes a rated R.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those deals where I am absolutely fine with movies being rated R. Logan needed to be rated R. Deadpool needs to be rated R. And I'm not saying that this Hellboy won't be good or bad because of the rated R, but I am tired of hearing fanboys say, oh, I finally get the Hellboy I deserve. What Hellboy did you deserve? Some kind of fan fiction out there I don't know about where Hellboy's doing some rated R stuff? Is there maybe a Hellboy porn parody or something?
Good old fan fiction.
I don't know, but so I was a little confused by that. I'm like, I'm kind of curious as to what these fans know about the actual stories and books of Hellboy, because I don't see that whole quagmire. So, hey, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
What do you know about it?
It's getting pushed back
What?
from May to December.
Why they got to mess with our emotions like this? I do not understand. If they were strong with the Force, it would not be pushed back.
Well, you know, JJ needs time.
JJ needs time.
JJ needs the
JJ just needs to
incubate a story.
to get the money out of the last Brinks fleet of trucks because they're still filled, so he can get ready to fill the next fleet of Brinks trucks with more money.
This is true.
Holy cow! So we lost a director for the third movie of the installment. Second movie. Let's be very clear here. The Last Jedi, or whatever it's called,
Yes.
it's fine. It's done. I'm sure it's being edited. There's probably some CG work being done, maybe some over stuff. But I would imagine at this point in the game, there are no more shots being taken of this film. It is now editing and whatnot is getting finished and cleaned up. That's going to be coming out here this December.
Yes.
We're going to see it, and it's going to make all the money in the world. So we'll see. So the third one, though, was supposed to be out May of 2019.
2019, yes.
So now we'll get December 2019 instead. You wait a few extra months. You get J.J. Abrams, who directed The Force Awakens, to come back to do the third one. Are you excited about a J.J. return?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy J.J. Abrams. I think he'll do fantastic work. I'm more interested to see what the Han Solo movie is going to produce with all the controversy surrounding it more than whatever the third installment's going to be called. So
Right now, the Han Solo thing is the Millennium Falcon is flying faster than a dumpster fire in the whatever sector. Holy cow. So they lose their director after the movie's done or damn near done. Then they lose, I want to say, they just brought in, is it Paul Bettany or somebody? Somebody just got added to the cast. Now
yeah, and he's shooting scenes now too.
So movie was finished. We brought in a new director. The new director, of course, is Ron Howard.
Yeah.
See, I got to set you up for this. Come on. I know you're not Mike, but come on, you got to help me out a little bit. Ron Howard steps up to direct, takes over the reins, and now not only is the movie not done, but I mean, you're bringing him. If you're bringing him, is it Paul Bettany? Do we know for sure? If you're bringing in Paul Bettany at this point, that's not like a tiny D-list actor. So I got to think this guy's going to have a meaty role.
Yes.
So we're going to shove that
Or
in.
he's
So-
the voice of some.
it could be.
Android.
So do we think that they're just scrubbing the vast majority of this movie and refilming
That
it?
sounds like it. I mean, this
man.
movie and Justice League are like, I'm going to see
Holy
Justice
cow!
League just to see what kind of whatever they put on screen. I don't really care about the characters
At
of
this
the
point,
story.
Justice League has gone
I
from
just
being a
wanna see-
dumpster fire to a dumpster fire with like an impossible amount of grease being thrown onto it constantly.
Yes.
Lost their director, got a new director. Now all of a sudden that new director is refilming. Now this is the thing. There's there's always pickup shots. That always happens.
yeah.
There's always some reshots being done. That's not what is coming
No,
out from behind the scenes.
It sounds like Joss
This-
Whedon looked at it and goes, yeah, we can't do anything with this guy.
It's going to be bad. Now all of a sudden Josh is also getting a writing credit as well. So not only is he directing it, now he's going to be a co-writer on the script.
Yeah.
Well, if it was already filmed and he was just coming in to do touch-ups, how the hell does he change enough of it to get a writing credit? I don't think you do unless there's going to be some significant changes. So now as far as I know, Justice League has not been pushed back.
I haven't heard anything.
I think it's
Is it still
supposed to
coming
be-
out in November?
But I mean, we've got like months. So
Yeah.
at this point, as far as I know, Joss Whedon is somewhere right now, like filming. They are filming and editing at the same time. They are pulling it off the
chugging
digital
Monster
projector, and his editor is right next to him with another screen going, yep, nope, good, all right, go. So, holy
Hopefully he gets
cow.
well compensated.
And
for
then
his
I don't know.
efforts.
We talk about so much stuff. Sometimes I don't even know remember what we talk about. Did we talk about the fact that he just got slammed by his ex-wife?
Oh yeah.
Did you
Oh,
read that?
yeah, I read it.
So Joss Whedon is known for being like the pro-feminist, women's
Super-
movement, strong female
Yep.
characters.
I'll put a female lead in my movies in sci-fi, the
Oh,
genre
yeah.
that.
And now he got a divorce. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that happens in Hollywood. It's horrible, but it's pretty much standard course at this point. Wife, who I don't know much about, has been really quiet for the most part, and then all of a sudden unleashes like
Mm-hmm. He must
the
have said
Watergate.
something to her because she just went
Holy
off.
cow, like going on that he's not a feminist, that
He's
this,
fake.
He's that.
He cheated on her every chance she got. Like brought out the
Multiple-
dirty laundry.
Yes, I mean, and it wasn't just like, I mean, it was full skid marks. It was not good. bad stuff. These guys must have had like toddlers and like were cleaning diapers. That kind of dirty laundry.
Yeah,
it was rough. The the amount of times that he supposedly cheated on her, how often and easy it was for him to do, how he lied about it. Now, whether any of this is true or not, we don't know.
Yeah.
We're speculating at this point.
Absolutely.
But it is what she has said. This is, this is public record at this point. It has been out there. So, is he Teflon? Is he able to get by? Does anybody look at this and go, well, it's he said, she said? Or because of his reputation, is he taken to task for what's been said?
I think it's interesting. You see somebody like him and gets all this and how kind of the media and the public reacts to him versus a Charlie Sheen or versus Johnny Depp or versus, any of the other actors who have been accused of doing not very nice things, heinous acts. She didn't say he abused her, though. It was just cheating. So that's...
It'll be interesting. I think, in my opinion, it comes down to box office. If Justice League comes out under his guidance and it makes a boatload of money, if it makes Marvel money for a DC project, nobody in Hollywood's going to care.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be a good gauge because of all of the other negative press surrounding it prior to that. I mean, I haven't seen a trailer since...
we've seen some stuff.
I saw something from Comic-Con come out, but...
I don't think he gets
like the marketing
better position to be in. If it goes to hell, if it burns up,
it's not his fault.
Orbit, you know what? I was just called in to try and get it from point A to point B. If it goes over well, though,
it was all me.
And the great thing is, that he doesn't have to spin it. He doesn't have to say those words. The fans are going to do it all for him, and so I think that's kind of interesting at this point. We'll see how it all.
Do you take creative control from Zack Snyder at this point?
Oh, absolutely, I do. I do. I take creative control from a lot of people. The guy who came to me with Dark Universe with Tom Cruise, I'm like, no, done. Sit down, son. I don't know what you think you're investing my money in, but we're not investing in igloos in Florida today on my dime. No, thank you. Not gonna happen. No, I think Hollywood is barking up a lot of silly trees and backing bad horses. I don't know what they want to talk about how critics and rotten apples and whatnot are destroying the box office this year.
Just bring out some creative stuff.
Yeah,
I don't mind reboots. That's fine, but
don't expect me to go see a movie about Baywatch. And don't. You know what? You're not giving us any original content. You want to know? Here, try this.
That's why Netflix is doing so well. Stranger Things is coming out next month.
Can't wait to see it.
Cannot wait.
People are
original
excited.
Content.
You want to know where your money went? It didn't go to Rotten Apples. It went to Netflix because we are all more than happy to pay our $12.99 to sit on our asses at home and watch original content. Or content that we actually did like that some other idiot canceled that they brought back. Speaking of which, Dark Matter got canceled from Sci-Fi. And I just want to take this opportunity to tell the execs at Sci-Fi, from my heart to yours, I understand that you've got hard decisions to make, that there are dollars involved, and you got to watch out what you do. But screw you. I mean, seriously, your channel has been just going down sideways the toilet for quite some time now.
Well, they need money to make more Sharknadoes.
Oh, please do.
Sharkacanes.
Please give me more crap. I can't wait. Instead of something that actually felt like something that was meant for your channel. Like, I don't know, a sci-fi space thing.
I miss the glory days of it showing Lex and Farscape and Dark Shadows.
Like, what crap are they going to show?
All.
Oh, wait, you're going to give me Krypton. I own a comic book store, and you can't get me excited about Krypton from what you've shown me already. There's nothing. You are dead to me at this point. Now, the truth is, I don't expect Netflix to actually pick up Dark Matter.
Yeah.
They can't pick up every single thing that comes out there, but I will tell you this. Netflix, if you do, you already have my money. It's not like I'm leaving and going and cheating on you with somebody else. But if you did, you'd also have a little bit of loyalty from me for a little while, which I don't give out easily. So Netflix, screw you, Sci-Fi. Think about it. Just consider it. So yeah. So it's double Netflix today. But I don't understand why Sci-Fi just doesn't have hardly any sci-fi on it anymore.
I don't know who's running that ship, but maybe they need to shake up too.
CW. About time to start talking about CW stuff.
Okay.
They are talking about rebooting Flash a little bit. The fans have been so bummed and have been so vocal about the fact that last season's Flash was so Marvel-like in its downer-like abilities. Green Arrow is the downer show.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's all dark drama.
Yeah.
The Flash is the uplifting show, and it makes me happy to watch. And so I can watch my Arrow and go, oh, man, it was really good, but oh, that hurt. And watch Flash, go, oh, okay, that's cool. And then not have to take any medicine before I go to bed to even it all out. Well, unfortunately, it was Flash. Oh, man. And then it was Green Arrow, and I'm like, it's all bringing me down. So they said they're going back, that it's not in a relaunch, of course, but they will look at how they are going to tell these stories, and we should expect brighter, happier, shinier people in this next season. So expect
kudos
more
to them
fun.
for listening to their fan base.
Yeah, I think it'll probably help them get through that 5th season, and
Yeah.
Supergirl will be coming back. So that has been the show to go to for your popcorn, fluffy, funny kind of stuff. So it's done a pretty good job, and then we'll get return of Legends of Tomorrow is coming back, as well as some really great looking scenes for Black Lightning.
Oh, awesome.
So that looks really sharp. If you haven't seen any of that, so we'll get you caught up on one. You should choose Black Lightning.
All right.
Put that on your feed. That's when we'll talk about.
Oh, all right.
It'll be,
I'll throw it on there.
Exciting fun. Well, everybody, we got amazing events coming up. Always don't forget to come down to Geek Street in Kokomo, Indiana. Check out Comics Cubed, located at 121 East Sycamore. And of course, we're filmed right here in the heart of downtown Kokomo at the finest toy store in all the world, Kokomo Toys and Collectibles at 111 East Sycamore. I'm Sean Hilton, and today I'm joined by my co-host,
Lauren Gray.
and we will catch you next time. Until then, be groovy, everybody.